Hi folks, I'm Richard Friedman and welcome to my political cartoon countdown for March 6, 2021. Every week we kind of get together and we do the countdown of the most popular political cartoons on Twitter. And off my site on website on Twitter, Bronx Cartoonist at handle RJF. So if you ever want to tune in to Twitter, it's Bronx Cartoonist at handle RJF. And basically, we do the countdown based upon the impressions, the number of impressions that each cartoon gets. And these are my cartoons. And before we get to the countdown, we do this every week or two. And I'd like to just show you my latest book in a series of books on the President Donald J. Trump presidency, issues of the Trump presidency in cartoons. And there it is. And if you like, you can go to my website, which is Richard's Books, Richards, with no apostrophe S, just plural Richards, Richard's Books of politicalcartoons.com. And there you'll find all my books along with this latest one. And I'll just give you a sample of it. Here we have the one when President Trump was ill, he was going to take this what it was chlor, I forget what they call it, a disinfectant anyway. It was a disinfectant that he was advocating for fighting the coronavirus way back, and there was and there was Dr. Deborah Birx taking it all in, and her thoughts at the time. Dr. Deborah Birx, her thoughts regarding President Trump trying it out on himself. Perhaps she was thinking that. So I did a cartoon on that. I tried to do cartoons on all the basic things that the issues and occurrences that would have an impact on, that people would look back on. And here is, well, anyway, I want to get to the countdown. And here's the thing with the school. I did a thing with the Trump High, as if he were the principal of Trump High, how he would address the school, the coronavirus situation as school principal Trump High. So, in any event, I invite you all to go again to my website. If you would like to check out, you may not want to buy the book. You might want to just check it out and all my other work and get some laughs on my sample cartoons there. But last time, that's Richard's Books of politicalcartoons.com with no apostrophe S. I don't want to repeat myself like Jimmy Two Times from that movie a while ago, where the guy goes, "I'm going to get the papers." If you remember Goodfellas, yeah, that's right, a Goodfellas movie from back in around 1991, with Jimmy Two Times, when he would go, "I'm going to get the guy that he was introducing with his wife, and he was introducing to his people that he was associated with, the nice Italian family, and they were talking about Jimmy Two Times. I'm going to get the papers. So I sometimes I look at my videos myself, and I see to myself, hey, that's Jimmy Two Times. So I'm going to try not to limit that, because it's a video, it's not a movie. So anyway, here we go with the countdown. So this cartoon actually has not appeared on Twitter yet. I'm including it as the first one because I don't know how it's going to do, but here it is. And this is one I just did this morning. And here we have Republican Senator Ron Johnson, in memory of the January 6th Capitol riot, introduces the last amendment of the Senate Republicans' vote-a-rama. See, the Republicans now, they know it's inevitable, the bill that Biden's relief coronavirus, the bill, the COVID relief bill is going to pass, but they're just postponing the inevitable and making it as tough as they can. And a lot of people, I'm sure a lot of people, the majority of people, maybe 70% of Americans who support that bill are getting pretty pissed off right now from that. So they're just putting up this kind of a smokescreen to delay, to show their constituents, I guess, that they're working against as hard as they could do against the bill. That's really what it comes down to. So I did this cartoon based upon what happened, what actually transpired here. The last amendment of the Senate vote-a-rama to slow Biden to change the lyrics. Now they're all introducing these amendments and debating them to take up time. I think they left 2 a.m. in the morning on the other day on Friday. Yesterday they left at 2 in the morning from all this business. That was all this stuff, this theatrics. You might call it theatrics, So to change the lyrics. So Senator Ron Johnson, what he did basically is that he made them, he forced them to basically read the whole 600-page COVID relief bill out loud. So everybody had to sit there for 600 pages of this to be read to them. Not that they're going to remember it, but he just wanted to spin the wheel, and everybody had to sit there and listen to it. So based upon that, I did a cartoon about what Ron Johnson might have for his last amendment in the veto-a-rama, where the vote-a-rama, within the vote-a-rama, where they're putting in all kinds of amendments, and then they have to vote and debate, and it's all taking up this time. So this would be basically another amendment that Senator Ron Johnson might have thought of, but it's conceivable, let's put it that way. Given the Senator forced Biden's 600-page COVID relief bill, there I go again, Jimmy 2 times, okay, to be read out loud before the Senate voted on the bill as a stall tactic. The senator sings his proposal. That is conceivable. So here he goes now. This is his proposal right here. There's Senator Ron Johnson with a red tie, okay, before Congress. And he's going, I will now sing my proposed amendment to change the lyrics of the national anthem of the United States, the Star-Spangled Banner, which will be debated and then voted on. So he's going to try to introduce an amendment to change the lyrics, the words of the Star-Spangled Banner. So here's what I wrote. Okay. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed President Trump at the twilight's last gleaming, gave proof through the night that our Capitol flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the Republican heroes of the brave? So that's how that went. And then they would have to, of course, debate the words and then vote on whether to go for the amendment or not, which would take up another few hours there. The song, if he made up a song, it might even be longer than this, So I made it a short song. Okay, there. Okay, I'm going to shut my cell phone off. There it goes. So I forgot to do that, folks. Here it goes. Yeah. Okay, now let's start the countdown. starting again. This is actually number 4 because this other cartoon I just showed you has not been put up on Twitter yet. So this is numero 4. Here we have Nikki Haley, and here we have former Vice President Mike Pence. Now Nikki Haley here is watching former Vice President Pence. Nikki Haley, former governor of South Florida and former President Trump ambassador to UN, watches former VP Mike Pence news of his op-ed pushing his misleading fraud claims. So what Mike Pence is doing here basically is, after being put in such a vulnerable, to say the least, position, he now, of his life being in danger at the Capitol, he's now going ahead and basically reinforcing the people who attacked the Capitol. And you can't argue that this is not reinforcing to that kind of thinking that the election was rigged, a fraud election, not legitimate election. Because he doesn't go out and say it was that, but he comes as close as you can get to saying it. Kind of like walking the tightrope there, you know? If you ever, when you were a kid, went to the circus and you see the tightrope walkers, well, that's what former VP Mike Pence is doing, walking the tightrope. But, you know, you don't have to go there. You don't have to walk the tightrope. You know, he's already been through the ring of fire. Why walk a tightrope when you've been through a ring of fire at the Capitol? But you go figure. So anyway, so Trump ambassador UN watches former VP Mike Pence news of his op-ed pushing misleading fraud claims. Misleading, I say, and that's mildly put. Citing significant, quote, significant and troubling voting irregularities. Well, we heard the CIA Director Wray the other day testified that there was no such thing, no such animal as that he found no things that would have changed the election. You know, it could have been, you know, somebody, nothing is perfect in this world, you know, and yeah, but to say that he's saying, he's pushing this, saying, citing significant and troubling voting irregularities. Given, and then we have Nikki Haley's recent characterizing of Trump's address at CPAC as a strong speech. So Nikki Haley said, President Trump at CPAC gave a very strong speech. Well, a strong speech meaning that he either believes in what he says, or if he doesn't believe in what he's saying, he believes in putting his own spin to what will help him politically run again in 2024. So it's two choices. Either way, you could argue that that's a strong speech if you're looking at it that way. See, it's because a strong speech. After previously telling a political magazine following the Capitol riot that Trump went down a path he shouldn't have. So everybody was saying, there goes, you know, they were thinking, Nikki Haley, wow, here she is, a former President Trump's UN ambassador, and now she goes down, she's saying that Trump went down a path he shouldn't have. This is what she originally said after the riot, shouldn't have, and that we shouldn't have followed him. You know, it was, you know, like the Pied Piper, you know, followed him down that road and just kept on letting President Trump say his own thing. So that's what that implies. I would expect when she said that. And then, given Haley reportedly reached out to former President Donald Trump to request a sit-down at Mar-a-Lago and was turned down. So President Trump didn't want Nikki over at Mar-a-Lago after that thing, saying that, you know, Nikki was not going to make it to Mar-a-Lago, you know. So then in that scenario, I did this cartoon of Nikki Haley watching former President Mike Pence going about talking about what I just mentioned. Okay, and then he goes, and then she goes, then she goes, Nikki Haley, this is Nikki Haley here. Let me give you a good shot of Mike Pence. Here's Mike Pence. And here is Nikki Haley. Okay. With her eyes wide open. Okay, and she goes, if this gets Pence back with Trump, she's trying to smoke a peace pipe after saying what she said against the president. Now she says it was a strong speech, and now after that, she figures, well, maybe that'll get her a ticket back tomorrow, or log into good graces of President Trump. So anyway, then next time I will say President Trump kept calm and is moving on in the great spirit of Winston Churchill. Now, President Trump has alluded to Winston Churchill in a speech a while ago. He said, he sees himself in a way as a Winston Churchill. He alluded to Winston Churchill. So I figured that Haley would be smart and she would use that connection there of Winston Churchill to President Trump, which would be I'm sure would be very flattering. And who knows? Onto a Trump-Haley ticket in 2024. Well, we could look at Kamala Harris and Biden. Kamala Harris socked it, really hit Joe Biden below the belt. I don't know if it was below the belt, but she hit him. Let's put it that way. I don't know the details of that particular. I don't remember, but I know it was a controversial. Let's put it this way: it was a controversial thing over busing and then there would be, as bills are, they always attach different things, and it's always arguable. They always say, well, I don't want to do this because I did that and this and that. So really, but she brought that up, and then her polls went up and then down, and Biden went up in North Carolina. So I think his relationship there is like an analogy. If President Trump in 2024 would pick Nikki Haley, as Biden picked Kamala Harris. So I kind of drew that analogy, that comparison, future possible comparison. So there it is, Nikki Haley in her red outfit, and former VP Mike Pence with his red tie on the set, on the TV, her watching him. Okay? All right. Now, I don't like to read this stuff because I like to be just natural come out with it. But every time, what happens if I don't read it, I go home and I watch myself and I say, oh man, what was I? I made a mistake there for sure. So I kind of have to just navigate it away just navigate it along here. So this is President Trump at CPAC, gives credit to Senator Mitch McConnell, takes credit. Okay, former President Trump at CPAC, he took credit for Senator Mitch McConnell November election win. Saying he really helped Mitch get reelected in his 2020 election. As McConnell is booed by Trump supporters. Now, as soon as he brought that out, that he helped, I guess President Trump was saying in a sarcastic way, oh, I really helped Mitch win that victory, in Kentucky, really. So those Kentucky people really came out for me. So anyway, McConnell, then at that point, McConnell was booed, by former President Trump's supporters. In the aftermath of Senate saying Trump was practically and morally responsible for the Capitol riot, which McConnell did say that President Trump was practically and morally responsible for the Capitol riot after voting, and then he said that after he voted to acquit him. There's another guy walking the tightrope. I mean, I don't want to get into that because that's already now water under the bridge. So we're past that point now. So I don't want to hit that one too hard. And just to say that it was a contradiction on, I mean, I don't know how you could argue. I mean, you could say he was consistent in his political ambition. Mitch McConnell was consistent with his political ambition of trying to navigate the waves here. But does that serve America? That's the question. Is he consistently serving America? Not is he consistently looking out for his own political welfare. He's consistently looking out for his political welfare, no doubt. Is he looking out for America? That you decide. So, I always like to give you the joke and the tale and the story, reality, and then you decide. So you decide that one. So, other center saying Trump was okay, and later saying he'd absolutely. Then Mitch went on. I gave him the name Sing Along Mitch because he always sang along with President Trump until he said that. But now he's only sometimes sing along. Well, most of the time. Anyway, I don't want to go there. Okay, so here we go with this. So Trump's saying he asked for my endorsement, which brought him from 1 point down to 20 points up. So I don't know. This is former President Trump saying that Mitch had been 1 point down, and after he got the endorsement from from then President Trump, his points were 20. He was 20 points up, very quickly. He won it very easily. This is a direct quote from then President Trump. And I said, I wonder if I'm doing the right thing here, how it might have gone back in July of 2019. So I decided, as long as President Trump told us the story, I tried to make a story out of the story. Basically, I don't know if it was, to say, well, this is how it went when Mitch came to President Trump and said, President Trump, I need your support, back in July of 2019. So here's the whole scenario here. The Oval Office, see? Okay, there's Jackson, there's Washington and Adams. Try to get those good. Andrew Jackson, George Washington, and Adams, John Adams. On the wall there. There's the desk, the Oval Office. There's the old grandfather clock. There's that door next to the desk, the president's desk, looking out, I guess, into the Rose Garden. Yeah, give you the scenario, the full picture here. And then we have President Trump, former President Trump, and then we have Mitch McConnell here. There's Mitch McConnell. Thumbs up. And President Trump. Can't leave out President Trump in this. Here we go. He just doesn't want to make an appearance here in my cartoon. There we go. Okay, yeah. George Washington, grandfather clock, door. Oh, Jackson, Washington, and Adams. John Adams. Okay. So President Trump here says like this. What's up, Mitch? What's up, Mitch? Here he's coming into the office. And then McConnell says, Mr. President, to be reelected in 2020, I will need your endorsement. Okay? So Mitch is saying here that he needs he needs President Trump's endorsement to be reelected. He really feels that way. And then President Trump, as he said before, he said he wonders if he's doing the right thing, so he's reluctant here, and he says, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, Mitch. We'll see what happens, Mitch. And then, here's Mitch. Mr. President, thanks to me, when you took office, you had more than 100 vacancies to fill in the lower courts. These are federal positions, federal judgeships, okay? Federal courts, including 17 in the U.S. Courts of Appeals. All of them lifetime appointments that once that's in, it's there. It's like the Rock of Gibraltar. Once you appoint somebody to one of those positions, it's for life, you know? So these are federal positions, high judicial federal judgeships. And that a lot of cases rise to that level, so it has an impact on this country. So President Trump's impact on this country, people think he will be a long, long time. He's made a tremendous impact, even if he's not reelected, because of all the federal judges that he has appointed in terms of moving into a conservative, very conservative position here. So again, I'm giving you the facts. You decide. Okay, Mr. President, those vacancies were kept open by my influence during the Obama years. So we know what happened with Garland. Now Biden is appointing him to be the Attorney General. But before that, Garland, they didn't want Garland. They wouldn't, because McConnell didn't want no part of appointing Garner, while, of course, it was too late in President then Obama's term to appoint a new judge. So he flips side and he says, well, with President Trump, it's different now. It's different because we're all on the same party and we're on the same ship. So it's a different political situation. Again, justifying a different approach by the politics. That's what that's what Mitch McConnell does. Kind of like justifies the politics, not treating the situation the same by saying it's a different political environment. You know, so. They couldn't get Garland on there when Obama nominated Garland. They held that up and it never went through. And then I think President Trump got Gorsuch in. Okay, so anyway, so now Garland is the Attorney General under Biden. So what goes around, I guess, comes around. So anyway, you take it the way you want to look at it, but. It's just interesting if you give it some thought. So that's really what I'm asking you to do. Just give it some thought. So anyway, so here goes. Okay, so here he goes. Mr. President. Thanks to me, when you took office, you had more than 100 vacancies to fill in the lower courts, including 17 in the appeals, and of them, I went over that. You know, there I go, Jimmy two times. That's me. Okay, Mr. President, those vacancies were kept open by my influence during the Obama years, not to mention your first Supreme Court appointment, which was Judge Gorsuch. So there you have it. So now here's a punchline on that. And here's President Trump. President Trump gets the punchline here. Former President Trump gets the punchline here. You get it, Mitch. My Supreme Court must have the guts and courage to serve the fantastic American people. You know, so that's what President Trump is complaining now, that basically if the Supreme Court let him down, they didn't have the guts and the courage to challenge the election, because it went to the Supreme Court and they refused to hear it, and there was no grounds. And he's saying basically former President Trump is now saying they're using no grounds as an escape route. They didn't want to confront the reality of a rigged election, and so he's saying that the Supreme Court had no guts or courage. So here he is. He's thinking at that point this hadn't happened. This was in July of 19. So he wants the Supreme Court with guts and courage to serve the fantastic American people. There it is. Okay. Okay, here is numero cuatro here. Here's Ted Cruz. Senator Ted Cruz declares Trumpism among Republicans ain't going anywhere. You know, Trump is going to be around for a while. He ain't going anywhere at the CPAC at Florida CPAC is Conservative Political Action Conference. That's what it stands for. That and Cruz's conceivable political aspirations. Okay, so here we got the CPAC. This is Cruz at the CPAC, having the microphone, and here are his thoughts ahead of what he's shooting for. Again, kind of like a Nikki Haley thing, you know, where he'd be the vice president, and there's President Trump in 2024, with Cruz in there giving thumbs up to go ahead and challenge the next Democrat. If it's not Joe Biden, whoever is the Democratic nomination, I don't know. So I don't know what's going to happen there. So anyway, that's that. And here is Ted Cruz giving his speech right here. Okay, there are a whole lot of voices in Washington who look at the millions of people inspired who went to battle fighting alongside President Trump, and they're terrified and they want him to go away. Let me tell you this right now, Donald J. Trump ain't going anywhere. So this is what he said before CPAC, Cruz at CPAC. He said this here. And then this was his thoughts as he was saying that, thinking ahead to 2024. President Trump ain't going nowhere. He's going to be in there again, and I'm going to be right next to him as his vice president nominee. You know, so that's kind of there. Cruz with the mic before CPAC and his thoughts at that moment, possibly. There it is. Okay, this is numero uno de la semana, number one of the week. Okay, this is Mitch McConnell having a dream. This is his dream, because he's been on the outs with President Trump since that remark that he made following the Capitol riot. Here's Mitch McConnell in dreamland putting his thumbs up. There he is on the pillow. There's Mitch sleeping away with his thumbs up in the dream. And there he is with his thumbs up. And there he is with his thumbs up. This is what he's dreaming. Okay. Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell dreamed of supporting Trump as the 2024 Republican nominee for president at Washington, D.C. rally in the wake of McConnell blasting Trump for the January 6th Capitol riot, saying the former president was practically and morally responsible, and Trump calling on Republicans to replace McConnell, calling him an unsmiling political hack. And Mitch McConnell saying he'll absolutely support Trump in 2024 if he's a GOP nominee. So that's the key here, that he said he was going to support Trump in 2024 as if he's the Republican nominee for president. And there we have that. And then here's Simpson saying, stop the second steal. And there's Trump and McConnell. On behalf of the Republican Party, President Trump and I say, welcome back. So there they are in front of the Capitol here. There's the Capitol, and the back to the Capitol in the 2024 rally, and he's saying here, welcome back. Okay, welcome back. That's it. Welcome back to the Capitol. Stop the second steal. They're the supporters with their red hats. There's the thing. Trump 24, no more bullshit. That's a flag for 2024. That was the flag for 2020, so he just changed it to 2024. And there's the Capitol. Capitol. This is all a dream. McConnell's dreaming here. Dreaming. This is what he's dreaming. He's with him there in front of the Capitol, and they say, welcome back. Stop the second steal. Okay? There it is. Okay, I want to thank you folks for visiting my Trump cartoon countdown. My political, I'm so used to saying Trump cartoon countdown. It's the political cartoon countdown, and I look forward to seeing you next time. And all I have to say is take care of yourself, stay well, and again, God bless you, and God bless America. Take care.